So motion made by Melissa Curtis, second by Missy Hanson. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
And Jill? Aye. So that motion to approve the agenda passes 4-0. I don't believe we had any citizens comments, Jill?
We did not, no.
So we'll continue on to the consent agenda. Board members, you all received your packets. Eric, I'm sorry, I believe, was there something, Mr. Olson, that you needed to say before we can started all of this that you wanted to add on?
Yes, I'll let Jill add a couple of items or to clear up a couple items.
Right, we are adding, we had additional donations since you had seen the materials on Friday. So that's it.
Okay. So those have been noted and added?
Correct, yes.
So then we'll continue on with the consent agenda. Board members, you've received your packets. If there are any questions, we can certainly address those. Otherwise, it is an action item.
So moved. This is Melissa. Second, Missy.
Motion made by Melissa Curtis, second by Missy Hanson. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
And Jill? Aye. I don't think Jeff is on yet. So that motion passes 4-0. Mr. Olson, resolution for acceptance of gifts.
Speaking of our gifts that donations that came in late last week and today even, in our collaborative section of our strategic priority area, we had 5 donations that were recently added, and these are an absolute testimony of the amazing community that we are part of. So absolutely wonderful donations because they all go to kids. And I know there are a lot of teacher leaders and counselor and social workers that had a part in bringing these to us. And so at the end, after I announce each one, I do have a shout out to a couple people that really were instrumental as they brought these forward to me. So the first one is an anonymous donor. And this person this group donated 50 $100 gift cards to Target to distribute to families in need at Eastview, Pinewood, Little Mountain Elementary, Middle, and High School. So that one was a total donation of $5,000. And then the next 4 are ones that we can pay tribute to without remaining anonymous. So 3 Bridge Solutions donated Target and Walmart gift cards totaling $5,600 to be used at the Monticello High School Giving Tree program. And then Foster White Insurance Agency donated 60 gift cards totaling $1,551.97 to be used also for the Monticello High School Giving Tree. Then Riverside Church Youth Group donated 50 gift cards for $860 to be used in this Giving Tree program. And then the Pizza Ranch donated vouchers to be used for 24 families who can go there 12 times. And so each of these families can go there 12 times. And we estimate that value to be around $2,900. I had a teacher and social worker. So Vicki, Emmerich and Stacy Hughes came to me with the idea of the Giving Tree. The high school really prides themselves on helping these students and families in need before the break. And being virtual, they weren't able to have it, have the same traditional impact that they had. So they really look for ways to still have a great impact for these families, but not be, but do it in a virtual format. And the format and the brainstorming that they came up with was just phenomenal. And then just to see all the other schools that were doing the exact same thing and working with community members to bring these forward, I just couldn't be more proud of our staff, of our community in bringing forward these donations to help families who need it the most. And so total year-to-date donations, $98,004.45. So Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful community effort here. Thank you.
I would agree with you completely, Eric. It's amazing what I say it all the time, almost $100,000 that we've been given from different people throughout our community, that it gives so much that we wouldn't be able to do without this money. So we gratefully accept these gifts. These ones, like you said, are just so real, and they connect with students, and they will really change some families. Just make them a little bit softer this Christmas, when I know so many families have had a hard time. So it's great to see the giving from our community. It is, we do need to read a resolution for this one.
Therefore be it resolved by Monticello School District 882 to gratefully accept the following donations. From anonymous donor, donated $100 gift cards to Target to distribute to families in need for students at Eastview, Pinewood, Little Mountain Elementary, Middle School, and High School. From Three Bridge Solutions, donated Target and Walmart gift cards totaling $5,600 to be used for the Monticello High School Giving Tree Program. From Foster White Insurance Agency, donated 60 gift cards totaling $1,551.97 to be used for the Monticello High School Giving Tree. From Riverside Church Youth Group, donated 50 gift cards for $860 to be used for the Monticello High School Giving Tree Program. And from Pizza Ranch, vouchers to be used for 12 visits for 24 families with an estimated value of $2,900.
Second, this is Missy.
Resolution read by Jennifer Lewis Canigator, second by Missy Hanson. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill? Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Jill, if you want to annotate that Jeff Hagley is back in on the meeting at this point. Again, thank you so much to everybody, all of these programs that donated money to our schools. We truly, truly appreciate it. Do we have the Tina show coming on, just at least for a little bit?
Just for a little bit.
Just for a little bit. So, Truth in Taxation 2021.
So we had our Truth in Taxation hearing last meeting, December 7th. And so now just asking for approval of our final levy for payable 2021. I didn't receive any questions sent. People saw their tax statements. It's pretty quiet out there, but people may or may not see a change based on mostly what their property value did. They might not see a change, or they might see a drop, again, depending on their property value. So overall, our property tax levy is changing from $12,205,440.55 to $12,424,937.77, or a 1.8 increase overall.
Okay. If there aren't any questions, this is an action item.
So moved. This is Melissa.
Second, Jennifer.
Motion made by Melissa Curtis, second by Jennifer Lewis Canigator. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill? Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Great. And then tomorrow, I think Melissa's coming in to sign some documents. So this will be one thing to sign so I can submit it to the county and state certifying our final levy.
Okay. And now we'll continue on, Tina, to the approval of the middle school. Shocker, I get to leave on a roof note. More roofs.
Yep. So we had a bid opening on our roofs December 11th, I believe it was. And we have our bid tabs. We had 6 companies bid, and all those 6 companies showed up to our pre-bid meeting. That was mandatory so they understand the scope of our project. We did have some alternates to include some other sections of the roof, just depending on how the bids came in. But for now, I'm just recommending to do our base bid, which includes, Jill, if you want to scroll to the next page, the red areas of this map that was the base bid. We could have done a little more roofs to be under our $1 million budget, but we are thinking that our parking lot improvement or site improvement projects that will call for bids in January might be higher than expected. So we wanted to save some of that long-term facility maintenance 10-year funds for our parking lot projects or pavement projects. So we're just, again, asking to approve the base bid to the low bidder of McDowell Company, and it'll be the red areas that you see on our middle school roof. It's some sections over our 6th grade wing, and then over our arena gym and like art industrial tech area as well.
So Tina, when we take the action on it, do you need it stated that we're accepting the base bid specifically?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's not a resolution, it's just an action, right?
Yes.
Tina, did these come in at approximately where you thought they were going to come in, or where do you think they came in at?
Yep, we got some good prices. We were early out in front of most people that are looking for roof projects, and I think there are some companies, worried about what projects will be available in the summer. So we did have nice prices, but again, I think it's best to save some funds for our parking lot improvements and our pavement improvements. Our playground asphalt at Pinewood is really crumbling and falling apart, and the Eastview busing parking lot is in bad shape as well. So we want to make sure we have enough funds for those.
Yeah, it's rare we have this many people bid for a job, so it must have been good that we're out early with it.
Yep. And we're kind of in a nice spot. We're not quite St. Cloud. We're not quite the Twin Cities. So there's a little kind of territory competition happening between, companies that are maybe out of St. Cloud or the metro.
Any other questions? Otherwise, it is an action item.
I make a motion to approve the bid for our middle school buildings based on the bid replacement presented by Tina to the lowest bid of McDowell for the base price.
Second.
Motion made by Jeff Hagley, second by Missy Hansen. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill? Aye. Motion passes 5-0. And now we'll continue on to Jill with a resolution to combine polling places for multiple precincts for school district elections not held on the day of the statewide election.
Right. Whether or not we do or do not have an election, the law requires school districts to pass a resolution every year establishing a polling place. The polling place is designated by the city, and tonight I'm going to ask for your approval to approve our polling place resolution.
And there's a resolution to be read?
There is not. If we can just approve it as presented.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
It is an action item, so whoever does that, approve as it's presented.
Then I move to approve it as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Jennifer Liz Canigator, second by Missy Hansen. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill? Aye. Motion passes 5-0. This is exciting. Jared Hines recognition. This is very worthwhile. And this was Gary. Mr. Rebnig.
All right. Good evening. Thanks for having me tonight. I'd like to recognize Jared Hines, because he plays a huge role in positively promoting our students, our staff, our school district, and our community. Jared runs our activities website. He's also our yearbook advisor. He's our assistant coach for girls lacrosse. He's a yearbook advisor with Mrs. Johnson here at the high school. I'd like to share what he has done with our website and publicly thank him for the work he puts in and the countless hours he puts in promoting Monticello activities. And Jared is on here tonight. We use a company called Varsity News Network. They're also known as VNN. We started with them in 2015. We needed a website to house all of our activities information. It was slow going at first because we didn't have anyone that was taking ownership into this site. We didn't have a lot of information on this site, so people weren't going to it to find the things they needed for the activities department. Jared was hired in March 2017 after we started selling ads on the scoreboard in the stadium. He was hired to oversee activities, the website, and he has excelled. I asked him to touch base weekly with our coaches and advisors to promote the activities. He's decided to attend most of the events in person. If you've ever been to a Monticello activities, high school activities event, a game, whatever, you're probably going to see Jared there. On the website, he writes up articles, he posts pictures, and he promotes upcoming events. He goes above and beyond. Recently, Monticello High School was given an award by VNN, and that's why I'm here tonight, to recognize Jared and what he's done. VNN recently announced their state, regional, and national award winners for schools that use their services. These awards were based on content popularity or views on the website, coach involvement, and student body engagement. 47 high schools in Minnesota use VNN. Monticello finished number 1. There's 1,000 high schools in our region. We finished 9th in our region. And that makes up, I think, at least 10 states. There's 2,600 high schools in the nation that use VNN. We finished 18th. Currently, in November, we're number 1 again in Minnesota. We had 50,722 people view our high school website. St. Michael High School was second with 21,244 views. Last year, we had 436,230 page views. We had 28,716 unique visitors. So that means 28,716 people, and they averaged 7.6 pages per view visited our website. This time, I want to thank Jared for all he's done to promote our school district, our activities. He goes above and beyond, and he's amazing. Jared, thank you. School board, any questions for Jared Hines? He's on here tonight. And Jared also has a trophy that was presented to him by VNN. Congratulations, Jared.
Thanks, Gary. I just want to thank a couple people. First off is VNN. The people that work there are incredible. Rami and Ellen specifically. Ellen and I connect weekly, and she's always promoting us. She's always supporting us. And then just the Monticello community, really, since day one, the cliche is I've been supported since day one, but Gary actually came into the new teacher workshop on my first day at Monticello and offered me a job using the VNN website because I had done some similar stuff at Rogers. And so since day one, I've felt supported by Monticello and the community. And I just want to thank you for that, Gary. I appreciate it.
I'd like to just jump in, Mr. Hines, and just be able to share that. And when Mr. Agnew talks about you being everywhere, like I used to think, man, I'll go to a game and I probably won't see Jared because I've seen him twice this week. I would see you, and sometimes you're at multiple spots on one night. I don't know how you do it. And I think the most impressive thing is what you also. I hear from students in the halls at the middle school. I hear from families that you are a beloved teacher who puts in amazing energy into the classroom. So whatever you do it with complete passion, and it's really touching the lives of kids in the classroom and then all of our athletes and families as well. Thank you so much for being very well versed into communication and social studies content. So thank you. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thanks, Eric. I really appreciate it.
I would agree. I've never been to an event and not seen Jared there. And what isn't being said amongst all of this wonderful thing is, Jared, the work you do to highlight our district when there's so many, the numbers, that actually brings kids to our school. It highlights the Monticello School District as a whole, and it makes kids maybe want to come here. It gives parents that opportunity to take another look. So in the fiscal area of it, there's potential to bring more students to our school from the work you're doing, and that is amazing. We need that, and the work you do and your general demeanor and personality and the joy I always see on your face, we're lucky to have you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I know my husband feels the same way. He's in the back over there cheering for you, just so you know.
Virtual fist bumps. I love it.
Yep. But yeah, so this is well deserved.
Thanks, Mr. Ebnick, too. Unbelievable leadership to pick up on that guy right away and what he did in Rogers, and then have him get us to this point just a couple years down the road. So great job, great vision.
All right, well, thank you again. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Jared. We will continue on to Gavin with an analytical presentation.
Yes, thank you, board members, for allowing me to do this tonight, and then Mr. Olson. I'm just going to share my screen really quick here. All right, so jumping on a more analytical side with our board meetings, since I've taken over last August, I was asked by Mr. Olson to collect data based on our audience, and we've had some pretty staggering and awesome data to come from our live streams. So going to our first slide here.
Gavin?
Yes.
I'm not seeing your screen yet, so I'm going to make you the host.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute here, okay?
Interesting.
Okay, let's try this. So you should be the host now.
Okay. Can you guys see it at all?
I do not know.
Right.
I'm still seeing mine.
All right, 1 sec here. Oh, you might have to stop your share, Jill.
Okay. How's that?
All right, let's try it again.
Okay.
All right, how about now?
There you go.
There we go.
All right, awesome, cool.
We're rolling.
Thank you. All right, so for the first area that we're going to touch on is this thing called watch time in hours. So this means our audience retention, so how many hours they've watched in total. So starting in our August board meeting, we were sitting at 26.7 hours of audience retention. So this means how many times they've gone back and watched in total of hours. Then on the 31st, we had 11 hours of audience retention. And on the 14th, we had 20.3 hours. So we've jumped down a little bit, but we've had a pretty steady increase overall. And then on the 5th of October, we had 18.2 hours. And on the 19th, we had 1.8 hours. So we dropped down a little bit. Not entirely sure why that was the case. But then on the 9th of November, we jumped up to 29.3 hours of audience retention. And on the 13th, we dropped back down to a pretty low number, and that's due, I'm sure, to it being our 8 a.m. meeting. So, no, not a lot of people these days are getting up that early on a Friday, with most people working at home. Then on the 16th, we had 10 hours, so we jumped back up a little bit, and then we jumped back up even further on the 7th of December with 17 hours of total watch time. The next area we'll talk about is our live concurrent views. So this is the number of simultaneous viewers. So at any given time of a 1 minute span of people watching our stream. So at the beginning, on the 17th of August, we started at about 41 views, and we dropped down a little bit on the 31st, as you know, people are getting ready for school, so they're focused on more other things. And then on the 14th, second week of school, we jumped back up to around 48 live concurrent views. And on the 21st, we dropped back down to just under 40. And then on the 5th of October, we skyrocketed to just over 100, just under 100 live concurrent views. And then on the 19th, we dropped back down just a little bit to just under 70. And then we dropped back down on the 9th even more to 20 concurrent views. And then back on the 13th again in our 8 a.m. board meeting. And then on the 16th, we had just above 30. And then there was nothing for the 7th of December because it was how close to doing this that there wasn't any data available yet. But one thing I will preface, and you might be wondering why we have such low views from the 5th down to the 13th. A big thing I talked to Mr. Olson about is the trust with our community. So, you know, during the beginning when we started this whole deal back in August was really streaming this, that, you know, they were concerns about what decisions, you know, the district is making. So they want to make sure that they're, you know, a part of it. They feel a part of it. So then if they have questions, they can reach out to any of you. And then what I see with these numbers dropping is that the trust of our community grew over the last few months because they trusted all of us and all the admin on the decisions that they were making, so they didn't feel like they had to be a part of the board meetings as much, if that makes sense. The next one I'll talk about, this was a really cool area to see as far as data, is male to female demographics. Overall, our female population had 79% of our viewership, so that was super cool to see. And then also our male population only had 29%. So on the 17th, our male population was up quite high, and then our female was down low, which is just, you know, towards the middle of summer there. And then coming to towards the first week of school, our female population dumped back up again. And my guess is this is because of the fact, you know, we're getting into school, decisions are being made, and, you know, moms are nervous, I'm sure, with all the, you know, the new COVID regulations that are being announced and just how school is going to look the first couple of weeks. And this is the same trend that our female viewership is the highest, and then around the 5th, and then come near the election, then our male population jumped up a lot with the viewership. And this is also around the time when a referendum was announced. So, you know, they're going to, you know, be intrigued of like, okay, how high is, you know, my taxes going to raise if this does get passed, those type of deals. And then, of course, our female viewership drops as well. And then after the election, our female population jumps back up in viewership. And this is around the time also, too, when Governor Walz, I know, was announcing more regulations as far as what can schools do. And so, you know, moms, the more concerned side came back again, so that's why that's up to where that was. And then it's the same trend again. And then on the 7th, there wasn't any data because of how close to making this presentation, there wasn't anything available. And the next area I'm going to talk about is impressions, or when a video thumbnail is shown. So this is that, you know, that single frame that's shown to somebody that is usually registered by their facial impressions to that video itself. So at the beginning, we were up at 9,000 impressions, so by that single thumbnail shown to someone. But then we dropped down after the 31st because they realized what this was. This is, you know, our official district YouTube channel, so they didn't think they needed to be around for that for some weird reason. But then on the 14th, we came back up to about 1,000 impressions, and then we plateaued around the 21st. Then we decreased around the 5th, and then we came back down even further on the 19th. And then the 9th, we jumped back up. So this is after the election. We got to start learning about results. So they were probably, the viewers were probably curious about how we were handling the post-election results, etc. And then on the 13th, we dropped way back down again. And this is our early 8 a.m. meeting as well. And then on the 16th, we came back up a little bit, but then we dropped again on the 7th. And now this next one, impressions click-through, is the measures how often viewers watched a video after seeing a registered impression. So this is how many of our viewers actually clicked on the video after seeing that original thumbnail. So on that note, on the 17th, we started off at 3.30%. And then on the 31st, we jumped back, we jumped up to 5.60% of the click-through rate. And then we dropped down to 0.02% click-through. So we had a pretty kind of jolty kind of transition over the last 5 months with this. Then we plateaued again on the 5th, jumped back up tiny bit on the 19th, and then we dropped down on the 9th post-election. And then we jumped back up on the 13th of November. Then we dropped again on the 16th, and then we jumped way back up on the 7th, so our last board meeting. The next one I want to talk about is our subscribed compared to our not subscribed viewers. So this is how many people are subscribed to our actual YouTube channel. And the one thing that is pretty surprising to see was over 48% of our viewers are not subscribed. And then our subscribed viewers is 3.82%. So I'm hoping starting the first quarter of the year to flip that, to have it where it's more are subscribed instead of not subscribed. I know I've talked to you, Mr. Olson, a little bit about trying to figure out ways how we can reach out more to our community to be able to switch this number around. Next one, which is a super cool stat to see, is we have a global audience. There's no doubt about it. There are people watching us all the way over to Bangladesh. So starting with the United States is 8,900 of our views. And then India is sitting at 393. And this might be a little surprising to some of you, but not really. This shouldn't be too much of a surprise because a lot of the major tech conglomerates, and this is kind of where I'm seeing these views are coming from, like Apple, Google, Microsoft, a lot of their tech support people are over there. So a lot of those folks are probably scrolling through YouTube during the day, and then they happen to come across us. Then the next one is Indonesia, sitting at 49% of our views. And then United Kingdom, our friends across the pond, sitting at 26. And then Canada, our friends to the north, sitting at 23. The Philippines at 22 of our views. Pakistan, this is a very surprising one. And I don't know exactly why they would be tuning in, but it's something to definitely keep an eye on with their viewership, sitting at 18 of our views. And then lastly, we have Bangladesh sitting at 14. And that is with that. Any question, board members?
I would like just one question, Jill, before I think you're going to say something. But anybody have an idea of why is this going to become important to us? What can we glean from this? What can we do from here?
Are you asking us, the school board?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know we were being quizzed tonight. Well, I don't know. Maybe we need to start to advertise our online school in like Pakistan or Indonesia.
Well, we always talk about being in a global classroom, a global citizenship. And I think that would be, Gavin, you showed us how relevant that is, by seeing where we are being viewed. It's funny to think about people looking at us over in Indonesia.
Absolutely.
Really, there might be something else you could do, but I know we're really, really entertaining. So you wouldn't want to miss out on that. But I think there were interesting stats that I will honestly say I'm watching it and I want to ask a question because I know how to manage technology for my day-to-day life and do what I need to do for work. But I almost want to ask you, Gavin, why is that? Why is this important to us from your perspective?
Well, as far as why is it important to us, as far as a community standpoint, it really allows us the opportunity to see data on what our audience likes, dislikes about it, or also from the standpoint of what areas that we're doing good with our board meetings and even live stream, for example, and then what we can even do better to try to have that interactive connection with our audience. So it's more of a community outreach, I think, that we would help with, would help us out in the future more.
Ever since Gavin brought this forward, it's really opened my eyes to when you run a referendum and we have people that send us emails and they don't understand something or they don't know something, we would have this as an opportunity. The larger we get the audience viewing this, and the more that we can use this, just like Jill said about Jared Hines, we can use this as a marketing tool. We can use this, so our board meeting can be a marketing tool. And like Gavin just said, community outreach to reach your community so they feel informed, because an informed voter back in February is a way better voter come November, or a way more informed voter. And that's what we want. We want people to feel informed. And so we're seeing big school districts use things like this to purchase their own TV channels. And so there's going to be some opportunities in the future where we're going to bring this back full circle to look at going deeper to not only our school board meetings, but how can we reach 24 hours a day, and what types of things can we highlight about kids, about your school board meeting, about our school board meetings. But there's just so much to be learned from Gavin's leadership to show this to me, and I never thought of it, but it's triggered a series of things that we can look into and go deeper with.
I'm just curious to be in that budget committee meeting when we talked to Tina about buying a television station.
I hope you're ready, Tina.
Television channel.
We already have it worked out.
Good plans. But anybody else have any other thoughts or questions? Thanks, Gavin, for pulling all of that together.
You bet. I appreciate the opportunity.
Mr. Olson, we'll go on to the second reading of policies for policy 104 and policy 431.
All right, since this is second reading, I really won't go into the in-depth discussion over each one, but I will just say policy 104 is at second reading. That was our district goals, where we made just a few minor changes. Policy 431 was the use of district provided handheld communication devices, which we also just made a couple small changes to. So any last minute discussions or questions? If not, these should be brought forward then for action.
Okay. I move to approve policy 104 and 431 as presented.
Second, this is Melissa.
Motion made by Missy Hanson, second by Melissa Curtis. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill? Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Barb, for our COVID update.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Just a quick update. I know we have been getting lots of information in the last week or so with new guidelines coming out from MDE for moving schools forward and creating a realistic plan for bringing students back to school in a safe manner. So for this update, just highlighting the fact that we do have new guidelines that we are weeding through and attending trainings for and going to clarification sessions with MDE on. And you'll continue to hear more information about some of the new requirements and the new guidelines from MDE. For now, Eric, Mr. Olson is developing a dial-up plan for students to start coming back to school as early as mid-January. The plan between the break and mid-January is to continue to serve students in small groups and in it for their intensive services, just as we're doing right now. And we will continue that until we get approval on how to move forward starting on January 18th. We do have a meeting set up for Wednesday, December 23rd in the morning with MDE and MDH. And we will present the plan that Eric has shared with all of you as far as a dial-up plan. And that still could change during our consultation and as we take feedback and learn from other districts. So you'll hear a lot more about what is approved after our consultation on Wednesday. Any questions up to this point? All good? One of the challenges of the new guidance is that it does include optional on-site testing for staff. So I am going to some training, and I will be working with our district nurses tomorrow to kind of set up our district procedure to offer on-site testing every other week for staff. And this will be optional. So more to come on that as well. Meal deliveries will continue for the weeks of January 4 and 11, just as they have currently been running, and they will include the Wednesday evening pickup option for parents the week of January 4th and January 11th. Once we start to have more students coming back into school, then our needs could change for what families really need for those pickup options. So working with Sierra and Tina, we'll just keep you in the loop on how food services changes to go for as we go forward after January 18th.
And I can't remember, did they change the funding for the meals for the whole school year then?
Yes.
They did, okay.
So, and really once the students are coming back to school, even in a hybrid setting, we can deliver much more through the students. But for now, this community pickup time is popular and seems to be meeting the needs of the community, so we'll continue that.
Melissa, you brought up a really good point, and I just like to take it further. And Tina, you can correct me with on the numbers, because I'm sure I won't have the exact number because it's probably changed since I heard last. But our principals, Melissa Erickson, the social workers, counselors, really did an amazing job of Sarah Welk. They did an amazing job of going to families and working on communication with Tina, with Sierra McDonald, our food service director, and Clay Sawatsky. But they really did a wonderful job of getting that information out, because just because meals are free, there are a lot of other different budgets that are connected to compensatory aid. And just because of that push, I know that we were getting close to 100 more families that filled out applications, and that means a lot to us. And so we should really acknowledge that work that everybody did inside the buildings, Barb and Tina and Sierra leading that, and then everybody just really working hard at that family level to complete those applications, which is voluntary, but it really helps the school district for compensatory aid, along with the free and reduced lunch that normally they would benefit from if they qualify. But we really appreciate that extra effort from everybody, all school staff and families.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Melissa.
All right, thanks everyone. If you have other questions, or you hear other things you want us to talk a little bit more about, just pass them on to me. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to jump in here, and I get to, I guess, just kick off the celebratory event here. But I want to thank Jill Hoffman and Missy Hansen for their amazing service to the whole community, especially our school board, our staff, our students, our families. Serving on a school board, we were talking beforehand. I remember when I first started here, I was thinking school board member worked a couple times a month, and now that I get to work with you on a more personal basis as superintendent, I see that it's hours and hours and hours and hours upon hours a month. So I thank you for all that you do in this elected position. You served the people of the Monticello community, and specifically Monticello Public Schools 882 extremely well. Thank you. We have a celebration here that I'll let Clay Sawatsky work through.
Hey, congratulations and thank you guys. Can you guys see my screen here?
Yeah.
Can.
Great. Here we go.
Hi, Jill. I just want to offer my congratulations and thanks for a job well done as a school board member. I know you've been very active in our community, especially our schools, prior to the school board, but I feel that you've really done an excellent job as a school board member these past, I think it's at least 8 years. I, as you know, have been living in Monticello for 50 years and 31 years as a school district employee. And I've had a lot of experience with school board members. I want to put you right up there as one of the very best. And one of the reasons I think, maybe there's actually more than one reason why I would rate you so high as a school board member. And one is your personality and your ability to be a people person and communicate and listen well and stand up and be counted. I think maybe another reason is your commitment to our school district. I mean, it's pretty obvious that you want to do best for our school and for our town. I know you work closely with Eric, and I think that's really important as a school board chair to work with the superintendent. You don't always have to agree with the superintendent, but you have, as a chair, numerous meetings where you get together and plan the agenda or plan strategy for meetings and future events. Another reason, probably the final reason, is why I think you've been so successful is that you never seemed to me, the reason you ran for the school board was not that you had a particular agenda or a cause. I think you just basically wanted to serve. And I've seen over the years many best for our school and for our town. I know you work closely with Eric, and I think that's really important as a school board chair to work with the superintendent. You don't always have to agree with the superintendent, but you have, as a chair, numerous meetings where you get together and plan the agenda or plan strategy for meetings and future events. Another reason, probably the final reason, is why I think you've been so successful is that you never seemed to me, the reason you ran for the school board was not that you had a particular agenda or a cause. I think you just basically wanted to serve. And I've seen over the years many times where people ran for the school board because of a certain reason or an axe to grind. And I don't think you ever exhibited that. I think your reason for serving on the board was pure. And people have recognized that as a school board member. So I just wanted to offer my congratulations and thank you for your service. I know serving on the board for all board members is sometimes a rather thankless type of thing with very little gratitude of the time and effort that individual people have put into serving on a board. And so please know that your work is appreciated and something that is important if it's done really well, and you've really done well. So enjoy your free time, Jill, and thank you for your service and congratulations.
Hi, Missy. I felt pretty privileged that Eric gave me a couple minutes just to say thank you to you. So thank you so much for all that you've done for us new school board members and kind of bringing us on, taking us under your wing. I appreciate your kindness and your patience with all of our questions and your dedication to the school board and to the district. I also feel pretty privileged to not only have gotten to know you as a school board member, but also as another mom and another member of the community. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the school district, and keep in touch.
Hi, Missy. I just wanted to take a minute to thank you for your service to the Monticello School District. Right from the start, you were very welcoming to us new board members. You always had a very thoughtful approach to our work on the board, and you have made valuable contributions to the district. It was a pleasure serving with you these past few years. I wish you all the best, and we'll miss you here.
It's been an honor and privilege serving with you on the school board. I want to thank you for everything you've done for our community, and especially for our children of the district. We could always count on you to say what is best for our kids. That is something I will always remember. It has been a wonderful experience. I hope to see you around. Take care.
Missy Hansen, I have the good fortune of being able to give you a message of gratitude and thanks for being a school board member. I've known you in 3 different capacities. I've known you as a Pinewood PTO member. I have known you in your school board role. I've also known you as a caring parent. In each of the 3 roles, what I've seen and what I felt is your heart. You feel for kids, you feel for staff, and you care for them a great deal. You came to the school board with no hidden agendas. You came just to serve the community and serve the students of Monticello. For that, I thank you, and I commend you for your integrity of serving with your whole heart. And like I said, not having a one specific agenda item that you came to reproduce over and over again. Instead, you reproduced something over and over again, and that was your caring spirit and your wonderful heart. So thank you for serving the school board. I am absolutely honored to have worked for you, and I appreciate our friendship along the way. So thank you, Missy Hansen, for your great service to the Monticello School District.
Well, Jill, it's your final board meeting. I want to thank Superintendent Olson and the school board for inviting me to speak tonight. And I just want to take just a couple of minutes short just to thank you for your service, because there's been a great deal of service going back to 2006, 2007, where you, prior to being a board member, helped run 2 referendum campaigns. The work that we did in 2006 didn't result in a yes vote, but we educated the public to the point where in 2007, when we came back, we were able to get a positive vote to really do some good things in the district, and you were such a key part of that. And then you took to my pestering and chose to run for the board, and you've been there since that time, continuing your service. And again, thank you for that. What I appreciated about your time is you really grabbed on to the vision of the district. You understood the importance of every kid every day, and you made sure that all kids and all people had a voice at the table. And that's what we need from board members, is to make sure that there's no one who's silenced, that there's no one who's not heard, that there's no one who is not valued, because they all are. Every member of our student body, every member of our community, and every member of our district. You understood your why. You understood why you were there as a board member. You understood the purpose of being an elected official. And Simon Sinek talks about the why being the center of the golden circle, and that's, again, knowing your purpose, which is very, very true with you. But you took it one more step. The comedian Michael Jr. has taken that concept of why and taken it one step further to say that people who really understand their why also bring passion. And you brought passion to the job. You took it seriously, understood the important role it was, and you have served this district, this community, and most of all, the kids who walk through our doors every day extremely well. I'm so proud to have worked with you, so proud with the work that we've done and the work that you've continued to do. You've got good people around you who are sitting at the table who will continue there, and they'll continue to do the good work. Your time is done. Thank you for that. Thanks for the service. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, I think without being able to have cake and punch right now and have a few more closing remarks, I guess I just like to, if we could, let's give Missy and Jill a wonderful round of applause for their service. And hopefully there's people out on YouTube everywhere across the world, we just found out tonight, that are joining together in these in this little applause here. So a little round of applause for Jill and Missy. Thank you. Would you guys like to say anything?
Missy, you want to go?
Well, I'm grateful for the opportunity. Obviously, it's an elected position, so thankful that our community put their trust in me to be on the board. It really has been a great experience. I've learned a lot, made a lot of really strong connections, and built some great relationships, and hopefully have done right by the kids. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and thank everybody who was a part of it.
Well, I want to thank you, Missy. I'm so glad that I got to serve alongside of you and do all the work we've done together. And your voice has been so important that you've been here. And your input in the committees we sat on together has been amazing. So I'll piggyback on Eric and say, you've still got littles in there. There's time for you to come back.
Well, thanks. And to you've been a leader and kind of a mentor. So I definitely appreciate all that you've done as well.
Well, you're welcome. And I am humbled beyond words for the people that have spoken. People that have spoken tonight have been incredible mentors to me in my life. And I look at a lot of people on this screen. And so all of you at one time or another, and teachers who are out there on YouTube world and listening, the impact that you've had on my life and the lives of my children, I will never be able to repay that debt. I'm thankful for being able to have this time to serve the community. And I'm thankful for the people that voted for us to do this work, because while it is a lot of meetings, it is a lot of time, we are here for the kids, and to be able to use our voices to fight for all the kids, and no matter where they fall in the realm of high school, elementary world, middle school world, you have to have board members there that are willing to fight for them. And I know we have a good board that's coming on and that's here, and I feel like we're leaving it in a good spot. And I'm very humbled by the work I've gotten to do. So thank you all.
Jill, I do have to just say one more thing. I will never forget my very first address in the fall to the staff back during fall workshop, when it was about ready time for me to go up and speak, and maybe there's 5-10 minutes before, and you just calmly reached over, grabbed my coffee and said, "I'll take this." You knew I did not need any more caffeine, and you tried to just calm me down, gave me some coaching. And that was just like one of those funny moments that I'll never forget in my life. So
you did an excellent job. You will be one of the best choice we ever could have picked for this position to guide us through all of this, Eric. So one of the hardest things of being a school board member was picking a new superintendent and feeling the responsibility that we owed the community to do it right. I'm so glad, because I know we did it right.
Thanks.
So with that, I get to adjourn this meeting for the very last time. It is 7:02, and it is an action item.
I so moved.
Second.
Motion made by Missy Hansen, second by Melissa Curtis. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill, aye. Motion to adjourn is approved at 7:03. Clay Swatsky, can I ask you to email me